Namaskar. Today somebody asked a question, what is willpower? Where it comes from? And it's a very important question because we progress through willpower. Willpower is very, very important. The power of will. I want, this is a spiritual feeling, you know, this energy to fulfill I want is spiritual. I want itself may be materialistic, maybe not so very subtle, maybe crude also. But the energy to fulfill that must be spiritual, comes from spirit. So, what is willpower? Willpower is one tendency of the mind. It exists in Anahata chakra. You know the chakras? Chakras are the centers. And those centers, they control different tendencies of the mind, different emotions. So Anahata chakra has like 12 different emotions, and it is a heart center. We have a physical heart, which is like a muscle, which contracts all the time, comes here in the left side. And we have a yogic heart, we have an emotional heart, the heart of our being, and that is Anahata chakra. So that Anahata chakra is a kind of border between physicality and divinity, spirituality. It's a threshold, is the border. Below Anahata chakra, everything is physical, it's animalistic, and above is divine, and here is human. An interesting thing that this humanness is expressed through willpower. Where does the willpower comes from? Okay, the property of the heart, the strong heart, that's why we say lion heart, brave heart. Even the word itself encourages you, you feel like, brave heart. You feel, no? That your heart reacts, yeah, brave heart. Yeah, brave heart. So, brave heart. Where does the brave heart comes from? Is it inborn? Sometimes, yes. Can you obtain it? You can also obtain it. Ancient rishis, sages, they compose so many poetries about spirituality. So there is one poem from scriptures. It says, Телешу тайлам, дадхинива сарпирапа, шота сваранишу чагни, эва мат матмани грехяты сау сатена нам тапасу джону пашьяти. It's a little bit related, not completely related, but a little bit related to this topic that I'm discussing now. Телешу тайлам, just as in the seed of the sesame, there is a sesame oil. Just like in milk, there is butter. Did you boil the milk? On top comes the kind of foam, and it is a cream. And if you wipe it, if you churn it, you will get pure butter. So there is butter in the milk. There is fire in the firewood in potential form. And there is water in the dry riverbed. If you dig it there, you will find the water. Similarly, in human being, there is soul. You can see that soul. What does it mean? Soul is everything. Soul is wisdom. Soul is bliss. Soul is courage. Soul is infinite knowledge. Soul is nobility. Soul is appreciation of aesthetics. All the best things are coming from soul. All the best of the best, they are reflections of the soul in the mind. So, a human being has the potential everybody. Potential is there. I was reading today an article of my spiritual master. He says that we will not hate criminals, we will not hate sinners. We look at them as a potential saints, as a potential divine beings. So we will see that potential, we will believe in that potential, we will help them to open up that potential. Divinity means, it's like kindness, inspiration, bliss, love. That is divinity. So in every human being, just like in the sesame seed there is oil, just like in milk there is butter, just like in firewood there is fire, just like in river there is water. In every human being there is a soul, there is this goodness in everyone. And now, look, very interesting now, comes very, very interesting. Satya nainam tapasu jonu pashyati. You will see it. You will see it. You can see in yourself the divinity. It's there, waiting for you. Wisdom, love, joy, happiness is there, but you don't see. You are a rich man, but you behave as a poor. You think like, oh, I'm very depressed because no energy, I'm bankruptcy. It's like you have in the cellar, you have a big stone of gold, but you don't know. And you live as a poor person. So I was telling in another video the same analogy. So Satyena inan tapasu jonu pashyati. You are going to see it. You are going to see it in yourself and in others also. You will see that divinity. How? How you will see it? How? Through application of Satya and Tapas. So what is Satya and what is Tapas? And that is very much related to willpower. Satya is truth, truthfulness. Whenever we resort to falsehood, we have to distort our mind. It's like we are raping our mind. Our mind becomes traumatized, becomes distorted. Unwillingly it does it. Of course, if you are a habitual liar, then you feel like, okay, no problem. But if you don't have that kind of habit, there is an inner protest. You feel like very, very, your mind revolts. It doesn't want to lie. So when the mind goes into the distorted state, if it is very distorted, then you lie and you feel no problem. But when you are in the original balanced state of the mind, then you lie, then you distort your mind, you feel some kind of pain. And that distorted mind, there is a parallelism between layers. Like there is body, there is mind, there is soul, and there is a cosmic soul. So once the mind becomes distorted, it loses the spiritual connection. And as you lose the spiritual connection, you are losing the source where to get the energy, spiritual energy from. And that is spiritual energy is I want. So once you lost that connection, you get like I want, I desire, I have attractions, but you don't have this in your heart to achieve something, to fight, to struggle, to endure, tenacity. You don't have that. You're just like a vegetable, not moving anywhere. I don't have that. I don't have that stamina. So it is an interesting thing. So it is of vital importance for us to maintain a proper parallelism of the mind with the spirit. And for that, the mind has to be in the state of balance. And balanced state is achieved through the practices of Jama and Niyama, the moral principles of yoga, and most importantly through the Satya, truthfulness. And Satya is not only truthfulness. You can be truthful, but you can be very evil. Satya means benevolence. You are acting out of love, out of kindness, out of belief in the greater potential of the human being. If you are acting truthfully, but out of frustration, out of being offended, out of being angry, out of being jealous, that is not Satya. That has nothing to do with Satya. It further distorts the mind. So Satya really means being kind, being loving. Sometimes you can be externally harsh, but internally you are loving. That is Satya. That is the attitude. I only wish for the good of others. That is Satya. So if you cultivate that attitude in your mind all the time, you get this spark. You get this energy that other people see like, why you are an inspiring person. You have the spark. Why? Everybody can have that. Everybody can have that. Everybody. Not a single individual has to be dull. Everyone can awaken that spiritual potential, that light within. True? Satya. And then second what? Tapas. Tapas is an interesting word. Number one, tapa in yoga is a principle of life. Is to endure hardship, to endure pain for the sake of progress. My progress? I'm enduring pain. I'm enduring hardship. Why should I wake up early? Why should I meditate long time? Why should I do some things, some practices? I can live easy life. So, but I endure and I persevere and I try and I attempt and I go through my resistance of the body and mind. The body and mind just wants to run somewhere where it is comfortable. That endurance, that perseverance, that going through pain, going through discomfort is called tapa. Also, and also for the sake of others. When I want to do good to others, I also go through some suffering, some difficulty, some pain. So that qualifies as tapa. It's very interesting. And sun is called tapan. And tapas is this energy, this luminous energy. Like you can see in the person whether he has tapas or not. He has that energy or not. If the face is glowing, if the body structure is vibrating, radiating, that means person has spiritual energy. That person has spiritual energy. So tapa is very important. To go through hardships. We naturally, our animal-like existence, the body, the mind, tries to find a comfortable situation. Avoid discomfort, look for comfort. And that in that situation we find everything, we find comfort, but we don't find happiness, we don't find joy. But when you endure the hardship, when you endure the pain, you are on the path of asceticism. It's very uncomfortable. But at the same time, it is very inspiring. How interesting it is. So interesting. And you see, 21st century has brought so much comfort. No need to do any more the penance. No need to do the tapa. And people are less happy. There is no radiation. There is no Oh, sometimes yes, but sometimes no. So, how you do Tapah? First of all, spiritual practices are there. Like, for example, you do Kaoshiki dance. And you do, for example, you do 5 minutes, is a Tapah. You just start and like, okay, how much longer I have to dance? And then, okay, 5 minutes, and then 10 minutes, 21 minutes. If you do like this, it's a great Tapah. And it creates inspiration inside. Or Tandava dance, for example. It's very tough. It's a tough dance. I have a video, you can check it, what kind of dance it is. Dance of Shiva. Dance of powerful men. And sometime, I think one time we did a competition on Tandava, Koshiki Tandava. So first we danced Koshiki many minutes. Then there were some winners and, you know, some prizes. And then Tandava. So 80, maybe 100 men standing like this, intent on winning this competition. So dancing. Bhavanam Kevalam, Bhavanam Kevalam, Bhavanam Kevalam. You know, the energy itself is so inspiring. When you look 100 men dancing this, you feel vibrated. You feel like, whoa. Even by looking, I feel inspired. The sisters, they completely go out of orbit. They start to become so inspired, they just like clapping, and then the man is like, hey, come on, take it easy, don't make such a fast rhythm. And they're just like, wow, yeah, Bhavanam, kill him. And everybody is dancing. So you have to go a proper technique and the proper rhythm. So dancing, one another. So people dropping out. And finally, 2 remains. Dance. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, they're still dancing. Duel is going on. They're just like, and the face is like. Somebody came to me, said, Dada, you stop this competition now. Because these people, they are not going to give up. They may go to die. They may have like a heart attack, but they're not going to stop. This already is written on their faces. They are just, okay, we are do or die spirit. Powerful. Like you see, the marathon running, now there is a movement. People run like 42 kilometers. Marathoners. And who was the marathon? In the ancient Greece, he was a soldier. So he ran this distance from one city to another. And then he ran just to say, Victoria, victory, we have won. And then he died. Maybe he didn't eat proper diet, he wasn't vegetarian or something like that, so his heart. So, but he was a true hero, and he has inspired the world. And now people still are running this, you know, marathons, super marathons, half marathons. And that kind of, when you are, the Tapah starts like, you do something, and it's easy. The point comes, it becomes very hard. And it's like, you have to make a big effort to overcome. So those are the golden minutes. When you feel terrible, when you are like, no, I cannot do anymore, I want to give up. So at that moment, the Tapah starts, the golden minutes starts. At those moments, the moments of pain, the moments of suffering, the moments of I want to give up, when the mind is screaming, no, I cannot do anymore. So those moments, those minutes, those seconds, you see like, okay, I will give up, no problem, maybe. But another second more, another minute more, because every minute is gold. During that minute, you are getting spiritual energy. You are getting that, you know, the structure of spirituality around you. And you are getting that special luminous energy within you, which enables you to fight and struggle and progress. Otherwise, you become a vegetable. You're not moving. You're like, okay, I'm comfortable. So Tapah is very interesting, very interesting. And then one Tapah is to suffer for your own upliftment, do spiritual practices. Even the sports is also type of Tapah. Even the study also, when you intellectually suffer, like I don't want to learn this maths, the mathematics, all these formulas, all these equations, I cannot. But then you are just, you are tenacious, you are going on and going on. That is also one kind of Tapah. Physically, intellectually, when you endure and you overcome. For that you also need energy. You spend spiritual energy, but you also get spiritual energy. Another thing is very important, I find very, very important. Fasting. Fasting is, and it's not such a hard, actually, Tapah. Like, for example, to run 42 kilometers is very tough, you know, unimaginable. You have to be very, very strong willpower. But fasting doesn't take so much of willpower. You just don't take food, you don't take water, if the health permits. But you get a lot of energy. When you fast, you get really inspired. Somehow, out of inner world, the energy comes. And you use that energy. You use that energy for good. All spiritual practice is saturated with Tapah. It's built on the asceticism. And people think that asceticism is like, you know, when we say ascetics, we imagine a very lean person, like almost dying. But in reality, this word ascetics is the same like athlete in Greek. Athlete means, you know, the sportsman who is working on his body. But ascetic is the person also making an exercise and trying to achieve a great shape spiritually, trying to progress in the field of morality, in the field of spirituality. He's trying to internally perfect himself. That is the ascetic person. So everything is saturated, everything is filled with asceticism in the path of spirituality. The lessons, those people who are fortunate to have personal lessons, instructions from an acharya, qualified teacher, and those who have like 3 lessons of meditation. There are 6 lessons in the moderately advanced system. So the lesson number 3, it's like you meditate on the chakras. The chakras is the special centers, spiritual centers, and the chakras, they misbehave. They are just like, they're so distorted, and they are not. They don't obey your will. And then you focus your will. You become pure will to bring the chakras under your control. And after that practice, you feel so inspired. You feel like, wow, now I can do anything. And when you do your normal meditation, after this practice, you feel like, my mind will do whatever I like him to do, whatever I like it to do. So the mind there is not to disobey, because you have the energy to control the mind. Otherwise, if you don't have energy, the mind is like, who are you to tell me what to do? It's like, you know, for example, the cat or the dog. I had a dog, very egoistic dog, really animalistic dog. He was kind of nice, but very selfish. I come and I say, hey, sit. He just looks at me like, what? Who are you to tell me anything? But when I come with the bread, sit, lie down, jumps. He does anything. He will sell his soul for the piece of bread. So when you come without energy to your mind, the mind will look at you like, who are you to give me orders here? And the mind will not obey. You will try to focus the mind, but you will not be able to focus the mind. The mind will just not obey. The mind will be scattered in 10 directions. But if you have Tapah, if you have that asceticism in you, if you have performed the practices that required you to go through discomfort and hardship and endure pain and suffering, then the mind will obey. The mind will just like, okay, tell me what to do. I am at your service. This is what is going to happen. That's why, and that is willpower. That is willpower. That's why the ancient rishi, the ancient sage, has advised Tileshu Telando, Yiniva Sarpirapa, Shotas Varanishu Chagni, Eva Matmatmani, Grihyate Sau, Satyana Nam Tapasu Junu Pashyete. As in the sesame seed there is oil, as in milk there is butter, as in firewood there is fire, as in riverbed there is water. So in you there is soul. And you can see it through Satya, truthfulness, not only truthfulness, real truthfulness is benevolence. Because malevolence is another kind of falsehood. You cannot be truthful and malevolent. Only truth and benevolence is the same thing. And then Tapah, going through hardship, staying there, golden minutes, remember the golden minutes. I'm suffering, I want to give up. Okay, it started. Now I am pumping a lot of spiritual energy. So, 1 minute more. You should get inspired at that moment. Okay, I'm suffering, I want to give up. At this point when you really want to give up, at that very point, you are really getting the most benefit. So, and this principle of Tapah has to become our second nature. We live with asceticism. We don't live like a piece of dough. We don't live like that. We live with courage and clarity and inspiration and joy and happiness and radiation. And yeah, like that. So thank you very much for watching, and you can write in the comments. Maybe you have some also ways how to bring yourself out of vegetable into the lion heart. How you out of tomato become a lion. Out of a boiled eggplant become a tiger. You write in the comments. And that's good. That's also good for the video, no? That's when you write the comments, it's good to promote the video. And then maybe if you share the video, also good. I forget to mention this all the time, but when you share, why we should share? Because our goal is to awaken the world with spiritual ideas. Awaken. 7 billion people on this planet. They all could be miners of this luminous energy, and this world would become such a flow inspiration. But instead we have people who are somehow dragging ahead, like oh, and not really Tapah, but the world has become so comfortable. We don't really mine that Tapah energy so much. And but human being is just like a lamp with the kerosene. You need to only ignite, but to ignite you must have one portion of that luminous energy for yourself and for him also. You need to have energy to spare, and then you can awaken. All people, they have this potential, but there is not enough igniters, the inspirers, the motivators. So you should become one such motivator. And simple, until you have become, or even when you have become, you try to share the videos from meditation steps. Maybe they are going to awaken somebody. And it's such a satisfaction when I see a person whom I could help to awaken. I feel a lot of satisfaction. I feel like, yeah, at least I didn't live for nothing. At least something good have happened through me. Of course it is the divinity that awakens the people, but we can be the media for that awakening of the world. So should we awaken the world? I was born in darkness, but when I go, this world will be brilliant and radiant. I will not allow this darkness to persist. Should we awaken the world or not? I think we should. So thank you very much. Namaskar. And share this video. And write something in the comments.